All right, hey guys, I'm gonna redo the Q&A number one because the audio died at like 8:07, 8:10 because my mic died, so I got a new one that you can see sticking in the video right here. But basically, Jason Rad 9332 was asking stage prep question, how and why to choose what, bipod height, using a bag as a front versus rear rest, tripod rear support, etc. If that doesn't make sense, I'll try to clarify. So again, I think I can answer your question as far as the majority of that stuff. And again, if there needs to be more, please just let me know once this gets up and actually the sound goes all the way through, I hope. So again, depending on the stage and what we have available presented in front of us, kind of decides whether or not we're going to pick and choose certain pieces of equipment. Again, obviously we're going to have a rifle, an arm board. I'll probably have a rear bag or a gun bag of some type. I usually go with like a medium or like a medium to large bag. I like the sand fill, but I am leaning towards the Get Light fill or Spec Light now, just due to weight. Right now I kind of have a 50-50 mix as far as like sand and Get Light. I think I'm gonna start doing more Get Light and less sand, because I still like the weight for stability, but I still need to be able to move and maneuver across props and positions much faster, I think, in my opinion, based off of performance that I've had recently. But moving on to your first part of your question, second part of your question, bipod height. Obviously, bipod height really depends on, again, the stage. If I'm shooting from the prone and I'm shooting like, let's say across the valley, like Pig River, for example, right? Some of the targets are lower in elevation, some are higher in elevation, because you kind of shoot from here and then it dips down and then comes back up through these rolling hills. I would pick a lower bipod height if I know the majority of the shots are going to be taken at those lower targets, so that way that the back of the rifle is not super high up and I'm having to do like a modified prone where I'm like really high up on my elbows. I want to get as low as possible and kind of reduce that angle to make my shots more sturdy and stable. If I know I have to shoot up in elevation, so the targets are going to be higher than where my shooting position is, obviously then I'm going to raise the bipods. I'm going to basically look at the stage and the layout of the targets to figure that out. If one target is low and the rest are high, I'll probably go with the majority of the targets just to make it easier, unless that one target is super far. But usually if it's lower, it's going to be closer, because the hills are going to rise and get further away in distance as they rise, unless you're in like a really weird scenario that I have not come across. But then I would look at the lay of the targets and the order of targets I'm going to be shooting at, and then kind of make that decision. I am normally always going to use the bag as a front support if I'm shooting off a prop, because it doesn't make any sense to have it on the rear unless I'm super low and I can get on the bipods. Again, then it would be a rear bag. I rarely use tripod rear. I believe that tripod rear, you need to be really trained with it. I'm fairly comfortable with it. So if I had to, like if it requires you to use tripod rear, I've never seen a stage that requires you to use it though. But understanding how to set it up, which side of the body to set it up, how to prep your shooting position first and then integrate the tripod into that tripod rear position, and which tripod leg you want to use to pull in and grab to pinch in with the rear of the rifle, the stock. All of that comes into play. I just have had plenty of success without it, so I don't normally use it. I do train to it still a little bit, but again, I just haven't had a necessity for it, so I don't really use it. I've seen guys be very successful, but obviously they probably train only with it, and so that way they are very efficient. And that's really the big decision maker on that, is how efficient are you with that and how trained are you with that tripod rear setup. And then honestly, other than that, realistically, choosing my equipment, like I said kind of earlier, obviously the rifle, the magazines if I need 1 or 2. I usually always have 2 mags fully loaded in case there's a mishap with one and have some kind of failure to feed. So I can just ditch that mag and go to the next one that should be fully stacked, so I have enough ammo to finish the drill or finish the course of fire. And then obviously my arm board, which will have targets on it, distances, and I'll probably even write my dopes on there. Almost 9 times out of 10 I'll write my dopes on there, unless they're so close that I can use 1 dope for 2 targets based off target size. So it'll be kind of do this with my hands, right? It'll be, if the width of my chest here is my arm board, I would have target number and description, whether it's a picture or just a 1 word describing what the target looks like. Range, dope, so I can make sure that the range and dope or elevation setting makes sense in case for some reason I'm questioning it. And then I would have at least 1 or 2 wind calls per target. Usually I'll do like a 4 mile an hour and an 8 mile an hour in case it's gusting or it's not a constant wind. Just so I have one less thing to think about, I can literally look, engage. So let's say I shoot that first target with the 4 mile an hour and it's not strong enough and I miss. I make a correction and then hit the target. I'm like, okay, so I went with a 0.4, that missed, and then I hit with a 0.6. So now I know that it's a 6 mile an hour wind instead of a 4 mile an hour wind. I have references on those other targets where I can look at my arm board and be like, okay, well, the next target distance at 4 mile an hour would be this, and 8 mile an hour would be this. So in the middle would be 6 mile an hour. I just find that middle ground, and then that way I don't have to think about it. I can, or minimal thinking, and I can just look and then just focus on the shot process, doing everything right in order to engage that target as quickly as possible to meet the time standard. And then honestly, realistically, other than that, that's basically it. So like I said, just figure out what type of bag you like, what type of fill you like with the bag. Apologize. And then again, make sure you have both mags loaded, like maxed out loaded. So if you have 10 round mags, have 10 rounds in each one. So you have 20, because most stages are about 12 rounds or less. So that way you know you have more than enough. And then again, I don't use tripod rear because I don't train to it enough. I don't think it's necessary, at least for my shooting capability and where I'm at as far as my skill level with it, and its necessity. It's definitely going to make me more stable, but I don't like how slow I am with it. And then really the bipod height, again, like I said, look at the lay of the land, the targets, see if you're going to need it at a certain height specifically, or depending on what type of bipods you have, right? I have 3 different types of bipods, Thunder Beast bipods, Accutac bipods, and I have Skypod double pulls. The Skypod double pulls and the Accutac require actual like buttonology or some type of, you gotta pull and rotate in order to change the angles and maneuver them. The Thunder Beasts have basically 2 settings, up and down, and then it's just a button. You pull to deploy them to however many clicks you need, and then a button to retract them. So that one I would probably not even prep it, to be honest, because it's just really quick to use and I can make the adjustments super fast on the fly. If I was using the Skypods or the Accutac bipods, I would preload them or preset them to what I need, and then that way when I got to the point of where I was going to use them, whether it's the first target or the second target or the last target or something like that, then I can quickly deploy them, and they should be basically set pretty close to where I want them, and being able to just make the adjustment then. Yeah, man, that's realistically it. If you got any more questions specifically on any of the stuff I brought up, please let me know. Hopefully the audio, I'm gonna test the audio actually before I load this thing up. And then hopefully I can get some more questions and we can get some more Q&As going as this continues. Just because again I can't get out to the range very much right now. I'm super busy with work, so I'm just trying to get something out there for you guys to be able to use and continue to train while I am stuck not training and doing computer stuff and office work. So all right guys, I'll talk to you later.